Alright guys, welcome back to Racing Game Talk. This is my series where I talk about racing games. This one is going to be about why DiRT 2 is the best off-roading game of all time. I'm talking like motorsport off-roading game more specifically. Not talking about Mud Runner by any means, but this game is the best off-roading experience ever. Like this, it's going to come out in 2009 with other racers in there like Need Speed Shift, the unnecessary Nitro, even though it was kind of fun, but it wasn't a good Need for Speed game. So we got Need Speed Shift, Need Speed Nitro, Forza Motorsport 3, of course DiRT 2, which would probably be the best of the year. So DiRT 2 is the I think it was the second DiRT game, obviously. And in Europe, it was called Colin McRae DiRT 2. But then, like in DiRT 3, they dropped the Colin McRae name because it probably didn't matter anymore. So it was the... It was the 7th game in the Colin McRae series. And it was awesome. Like, it had so much atmosphere, and it had as much, like, feeling and so impassioned as Forza Horizon 1. But just a non-open world version of it. It was basically Need for Speed Pro Street, but off-road. That's what DiRT 2 was. And the most recent, go for DiRT 2, like, specifically, DiRT 2, like, that was out, it's probably V-Rally 4, which was, I liked it a little bit, but cars didn't have actual brakes and the damage wall and stuff. Like, it wasn't better than DiRT 4, to be honest. And then DiRT 5 is coming out, looks absolutely awesome, I'll definitely be getting it. And then DiRT 2, it's probably the best in the series so far. It was the peak of the Colin McRae series. Well, DiRT 3, they kind of ruined it with Gymkhana, but I still like DiRT 3 a lot. But DiRT 2 is probably the best in the entire series. So DiRT 2 has plenty of locations that are actually alive, different from each other, probably except for like Morocco and Baja. So there's several different locations like Japan, China, Malaysia, Croatia, London, LA, Baja, and Utah. There are those. I might have missed one. I'm not so sure. Maybe I didn't. And then there are also many tracks. It's kind of like it's kind of the foundation for DiRT 5, which has 10 locations. But yeah, it's more locations than this is. I think DiRT 5 has like New York, Italy, Norway, what else was there? Nepal. Like, I can't remember all of them right now, but then you also get like stars in it or like celebrities. DiRT 2 had that as well. That's another thing that made it so awesome. Like, you had Travis Pastrana, you had Dave Mirra, Ken Block, and like there's so many like different celebrities that are big in the off-road scene. And the driving physics were awesome. They're kind of ripped off Grid since they're using the exact same engine. Heck, if you had a save file of Grid in the game, you could get a Raven West livery on your cars. And the game still kind of didn't have proper progression that you could probably just get the fastest car right away. But the thing is that you have to buy, like, certain stuff for the car in actual events, which is probably something that Forza Horizon 4 should have had. Like, yeah, you have to buy stuff again. Actual, like, different events for a car. And then it kind of didn't have proper progression, but it made up for it with having to buy grades to make the car compete. And the game itself also had relatively short loading times. Like, some games today have long loading times, like Forza Horizon 4 has long loading times. These Fajitas, like, this thing kind of... That's the thing with the 7th gen, like, everyone focuses on, like, no loading times. Something that Test Drive Unlimited has already done. Hey Siri, we'll talk about Dirt 2. So, Dirt 2 also had really good graphics for its time. But the only thing pushing out of it was probably its age, like 720p, 30 frames per second. I think it was 30 frames per second. I'm not good at frame rate, but it might have been 30 frames per second. And then the menu was awesome because you're like in the infill of like whatever location you were at, and they're all different from each other, kind of like they just look different, but the layout was the same. It's very interesting too. And then the damage wall was incredible, probably the best damage wall of its time. Like, guys, this was before BeamNG Drive. Well, it probably was better than Brad Paradise, but I'm saying like 4 licensed cars. This was awesome. Yes, this Brad Paradise did have licensed cars, but this thing, like with actual cars, this damage wall was awesome. Like to a point where you would just be addicted to flipping cars over. Since, all right, so another thing about the game that is great because the fact that it wasn't a full-on racing sim, like it was accessible to like a very large racing game audience, and then all that stuff. So Dirt 2 is an awesome game, so if you miss out, I would recommend getting it now.